Get your coffee, hear the roar. Morning hits like a slam door. Bright lights flashing, can't ignore. News served raw, leave you wanting more. Tyler Today, voice of the street. Lies and truth, they can't compete. Frontline stories, fever beat. An echo that can't be beat. Ticking, headlines flow. Broken voices, stories grow. Echo chambers overflow. Answers buried in the overthrow. Tyler Today, voice of the street. Lies and truth, they can't compete. Frontline stories, fever beat. An echo that can't be beat. Spin it fast before it burns. Every twist a lesson learned. Ashes fall as tables turn. The system cracks, but we never yearn. Tyler Today, voice of the street. Lies and truth, they can't compete. Frontline stories, fever beat. An echo that can't be beat. Can't be beat.
How's it going, everybody? Oh, is my mic not working? Hang on. Mr. Mike, why are you not working? Hello? I can see that it says I'm talking. I can't hear myself. That's weird. It's not giving me the option for my mic to be the output. Hang on. Did I fix it? Whoa! Super fucking loud. Jesus. Hello. I'm a professional here, okay? Thank you, Joey, for rating the stream. Hello, everybody popping in. I gotta reiterate, guys, if you haven't checked it out before, I got new emojis in the chat. You should go check them out. I got a ton of new emojis. I really like the Pikachu, the dancing cat. Put those in the chat just now. We doing it live. Yeah, we doing it live. What's up, Sean? How's it going? Check out Sean's eye view after my stream today. He's filling in for Joey's Friday slots now. Speaking of Joey, who just raided me, he should be joining me momentarily. And I haven't talked about stuff for the past 2 days, so we'll be talking about a lot of stuff today. So that'll be a lot of fun. I hope all of you guys are having a great Friday. I'm gonna be streaming basically all day. While I'm waiting for Joey, I'm just gonna I gotta respond to a text here, and my dog just threw my door open. Really, buddy? I left my door cracked, and he threw the door open. So that's what happens. It's fine. He just wanted to come sit next to the bed, I guess. My family's ordering food, though, and they want me to order what I want. Crap. What do I want? It's a good question. I know what I want. Joey, are you going to join me? Okay. We have a bunch of different stories that I want to get into today. I guess Cash Patel went on Joe Rogan, and obviously everyone's sharing clips of that as they listen to it. Chillin' man, getting stuff together and hanging in there. Yeah, Sean's getting stuff together for his show, and then I guess Joey. I think Joey went to go get a snack. I don't want to start on any of these stories because there's some really good stories today, and then Russia just comes back and it's like, oh great. Okay, you know what I can't talk about real quick because Joey probably won't add too much to it because there's not much to add to it anyway. Gotta use CNN every now and again. So CNN on Yahoo News. So Russia launches one of the war's largest air attacks days after Ukraine's bomber raid. This is also following. I like how people are just neglecting to mention the literal assassination attempt. I guess that just doesn't get brought up. But yeah, I mean, they tried to assassinate the guy. That could also be mentioned. So following the assassination attempt and the bombing on all those different airplanes, yeah, Putin was of course going to retaliate. So, Joey's coming in here. So it looks like Russia launched a barrage of drones and ballistic missiles across broad swaths of Ukraine early Friday, killing at least 6 people and injuring dozens of others. Days after Kiev launched a daring raid on Moscow's fleet of strategic bombers. For residents of Kiev, the night's soundtrack was familiar. The shrieking whir of drones, air raid sirens, and large explosions overhead. Whether from air defenses successfully downing missiles or projectiles puncturing the capital.
Is your mic plugged in?
My mic is plugged in. Is it going through the wrong one?
Yep.
It shouldn't be.
But it is.
Might be
sounds like it at least. Sounds like you're talking in the hallway.
Great.
It'd be like that sometimes. I just wanted to let you know, buddy.
It's not, though.
It's weird. Well, I wish I can tell you how it sounds because it doesn't sound like how it sounded yesterday or last night, rather.
I don't know. I was having issues with it when I first got on here, too.
It'd be like that, like I said.
Let me unplug it again, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Repost. Tell your audience why you love this video.
Tell your audience.
Okay, do I sound better?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, all I did was unplug the mic. So, okay, well, thank you for telling me. No one in the chat told me. How dare you guys in the chat? Come on, guys. What the heck, guys? That's what emoji do I need an emoji for that. I'm gonna do the duck. I'm just doing the duck emoji. Oh no. I think that's my favorite out of all of them. I don't know why. The duck covered in blood.
I reposted and I said Tyler is the hottest upcoming property, so come join.
Property, whoa. But I was just waiting for you to join, so I wanted to bring up this story real quick because I was basically just stalling. But were we surprised? I mean, this isn't even going to be like this isn't going to be the worst of it. This is just what they could do in the immediate. I guarantee Russia's planning something bigger. I had some other stories that I didn't have pulled up because there's a lot of other stuff I want to talk about. But there was other stories. There was a lot of military generals and stuff like that in Ukraine warning the United States that Russia is planning for different offensives leading into next year. And it's like, well, yeah, because you guys sabotaged all the fucking peace deals. What did you expect?
They always
and it's funny how they're like, oh, let's sabotage these peace deals by launching like a covert operation that we've been working on for a year and a half. And then when Russia starts retaliating, they're like, oh no, America. Where are you?
It's really a joke, and this isn't the first time that this type of shit has happened, where they've just like something, and then all of a sudden it gets sabotaged. And like, oh no, we got to continue doing this.
Joey, you have siblings. You know what it reminds me of?
What?
It's like when your little sibling comes over, fucking, messes with you, whatever. So you give them like a good one in the arm or something like that, and then they go run into mom. They're like, Mom, Joey hit me. And it's like, well, what were you doing before?
Mom, Joey hit me. I'm going to launch a nuke at him now.
I know. Yeah, that's the difference, right? Is the escalation. But let's talk about some actual real news. Stork wanted me to talk about this, and I wanted to talk about it. Let's get your thoughts on it, Joey.
Where
Oh
the
shit,
fuck
my
is
sneeze.
Stork? She's still sick. Wait, what happened?
Joey, you're supposed to talk while I'm sneezing. This can last a while.
Oh, I didn't know you were sneezing.
I said, "Fuck, I'm gonna sneeze."
Oh, fuck! I'm gonna come.
I sneezed at least 9 times.
Damn.
That's
What do you
average.
What do you got? You got into Zelensky's stash?
No, I've always sneezed many times. I always tell people if I start sneezing, please don't tell me bless you. Wait till I'm done.
Isn't it mind clearing though?
No, gives me a
No.
headache. My record is almost 20, Joey. It was like consecutive.
My record's probably like 15, but I felt so my mind felt so clear afterwards. I was like, I
No.
could see the double helix now.
No, I disagree. So, oh wait, this is the wrong ABC article. God damn it.
ABC.
ABC. It's easy as
Yes,
1, 2,
YouTube
3.
Copyright. Oh,
Oh well. Yeah, you want to read this?
I can't see that shit. Dude.
Yeah, she can't see that shit.
A new tactic, ice.
No.
Wait, I'm looking at the stream.
Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the wrong one pulled up.
This is a professional show, guys. I swear.
Very professional.
Kilmar,
Look at my desk.
Bergo,
Look at my desk,
Garcia.
guys.
We Garcia. Kilmore, more like Kilmore.
Oh, whoa.
Kilmore Abergo, as Ali would say. Abergo Garcia. On way back to U.S. to face criminal charges. Source. See, Donald Trump keeps caving.
Well, I don't know if it's Donald Trump that is ordering him to come back, but so
He's the president. He could just. He keeps listening to the fucking courts, man. It's frustrating.
well, so actually, I don't know how much I disagree with this because so there was a new ruling that just came out. The reason he's coming back is because he has been found to have been trafficking people into the United States. Like he was a human trafficker.
Yeah.
So that body cam footage they had of him when he got stopped, he was trafficking people at the time. So they're bringing him back here to face the charges and to serve the sentence here, and then he's going to be deported back to El Salvador. So how do you feel about that? Because wasn't he already in prison in El Salvador?
It's like fucking like theater, bro. Just leave him there then.
Yeah, like if he's already in prison, then like okay, if he did these crimes, then cool. Like turn over the evidence to the El Salvadorian government.
How much is it going to cost a taxpayer? A nice, beautiful flight back to the United States,
Well, so
and back to El Salvador. Like, what's the fucking point?
ABC says mistakenly deported Salvadorian native.
Well, God, at least they say that. At least they say he's a native of El Salvador.
Yeah, he's on his way back to the United States where he will face criminal charges for allegedly transporting undocumented migrants within the United States, according to sources familiar with the matter. More than 2 months after the Trump administration admitted it mistakenly deported Borrego Garcia from Maryland to his native El Salvador, a federal grand jury has indicted him for allegedly transporting undocumented migrants within the United States. ABC News has learned. We have a story talking about the mistakenly deported because there's another story related to that people are talking about because there's ICE agents going around to immigration courts, and when these illegal immigrants have their cases dismissed or the trial concludes, they're getting picked up by ICE either way.
Just seems, I don't know, just try him. He don't need to be here when you try him. Just try him.
Well, yeah. I mean, we've talked about it before, though, with in regards to deporting people. If they can't prove that they're a citizen, why is that's the trial? It should be like 3 minutes. And whether the judge dismisses it or not, if they can't prove that they're a citizen, then fucking, yeah, that's it. ICE takes them out.
I suppose there's something to be said about what if you're somebody who's like had a horrible mother and father and like they've just lost all your shit. And you're like, prove you're a citizen. And you're like, how? I don't even know where my birth certificate is.
Well, see, that's why you would have a trial for 5 minutes. You'd be able to be like, oh, no, I can't do that because this, or that. And then they would decide if they need to extend it or not. But if it's as simple as, oh, I don't have anything tying me to this country. I wasn't born here. I'm not a citizen.
You see,
it's like,
people,
okay, well.
Yeah, you got to at least remember your social security number. Social security
Well,
number.
not even your soul. Like, if you
Remember
have your,
something
if you
about
know
you,
your
man.
full name, they'd be able to find your social and shit. So it's like
Billy Bob Thornton.
there's all kinds of ways that we could find out if you're a citizen or not, and it doesn't have to do with like having ID or anything on you. So I don't know.
Butterscotch pancakes.
Scotch pancakes.
Mhm.
But how do I feel about this guy coming back? I think it's stupid. I think it's stupid. If he's coming back and he was already in prison in El Salvador, I feel like it's kind of just redundant, and now we're having to pay for it.
Yeah, I feel like it's a total waste of time.
Yeah. Let's see. Is there anything else important in this article? I think they just talk about the controversy from before. It's kind of whatever. Have you been seeing clips of? I want to talk about Kash Patel. Have you been seeing clips of him going around X?
I saw he's on Joe Rogan, and I just want to say, okay, I need to let everyone understand how far we've come. Growing up in New York, from like when I was 17 to around 23, if you were found with weed on you, you would get arrested. Okay, we have
the head
director,
of the FBI is hanging
we
out
have
with a
the
stoner.
we have the no, it's we have the head of the FBI. Joe Rogan is literally fucking hotboxing the studio. You could literally see the smoke. It's like a mist while Cash is talking, probably getting secondhand high. And guess what? Marijuana is not recreationally legal in fucking Texas.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It really goes to show you that it's about like politics is downstream from culture, because
Absolutely.
he could literally right now arrest Joe Rogan because he's technically breaking a federal law because weed is not legal in Texas. So he could technically, if he wanted to, arrest Joe Rogan. But because culturally it's mostly accepted now, he's just sitting there fucking talking with him.
Right. Well, and there's a lot of clips that people are sharing because Kash Patel, Kosh
Badash.
Kosh Badash.
Kosh Badash. Hold on, I gotta take an edible. This is crazy.
Sorry, Joe.
Just sneeze again or something.
He's gonna sneeze. While we're waiting for him, Sean's Eye View just chatted. I used to get kicked out of stores for saying the word bong. You had to say, "I want to look at the water pipe." What's called in certain places I've heard them referred to as tobacco pipes too. Water pipe. I don't know. I've never referred to them as water pipe. That's interesting.
All right, I'm back.
Oh,
I'm back.
Joey is back. So Joey, I just wanted to play this clip from I don't know who shared it, but it's from Joe Rogan. So what I was saying is Kash Patel, he's been under a magnifying glass. Everyone's looking at him because they want these Epstein files and all these other stuff to start happening. Well, all these clips are coming out from Joe Rogan because he's speaking on it a lot. So Nick Sartor, Kash Patel just unveils that his house was swatted yesterday, and then Nick Sartor said it's attempted murder and should be treated as such. And then let's see it's just a 30-second clip. Let's play the clip.
And as director of the FBI, I have a responsibility. I'm not just going to bring a case because somebody hurt me. They did, and they continue to do it. Shit, my house just got swatted yesterday.
What?
Yeah, but
No
You
way,
got
bro.
swatted?
oh yeah,
The head of the FBI
Look how
gets
high, bro.
swatted?
yeah, yeah. These people play. It's the
I love Joe.
ultimate height of hypocrisy. They have two sets of rules. One against you and one for them.
Joe's
So-
like,
Yeah, go ahead.
got swatted, bro.
The head of the FBI, bro.
No. We're just turning him the melted now.
Oh wow.
His broness is infectious, honestly.
I want to know where my gaming news stream is. I was looking forward to that.
Yeah, what happened to the meltdown?
What happened to the meltdown?
What's up?
All it's been is GTA 4.
Yeah, right. We want to hear about the. I only get my gaming news from the meltdown. So if I don't get my weekly meltdown, I start to melt down myself.
I was gonna say I'm gonna have an absolute fucking meltdown.
Happy
Goddamn
Friday.
tantrum, if you will.
Maybe rename it to the tantrum.
Rename it to the tantrum. But I have another clip. So let's see. Like I said, we're gonna see a bunch of clips from Kash Patel all day. I just have a few from Nick Sartor pulled up. So we have this other one breaking. Kash Patel just announced. Oh, they always got to have the breaking. What's called Raymond and I were joking about it because he was tweeting about it, and I was like, the breaking of the breaking. It's
Breaking. Tyler
it's
Today
absolutely
News is going
breaking
live.
right now, guys. Breaking. Cash Patel just announced the FBI has gained possession of Dr. Fauci's COVID-era cell phones, and they're probing the hard drives. Once Fauci's AutoPen pardon is deemed null and void, it's game on. So
I think this might be the clip where the smoke ring starts rising.
Oh, let's see it.
I think it might be.
So Senator Rand
hope
Paul,
so.
Senator Kennedy, and I hate naming names because I always forget people, are doing a great job with us on COVID origins. And
Pause. You can't be head of the FBI and forget names.
Did
Hold
he
up.
just say that?
Did he just say that? You can't be head of the FBI and forget names. Hold up. Like me,
He's
I
like,
can't
I
be
forget
head of the
things,
FBI. I
bro.
forget names.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I forget shit. My bad.
Yeah. Anyway.
and we've got
Oh,
multiple investigations open on that.
Look at that.
But
Right
they'd
in
always
Rand's
been looking
face.
for
face.
Fauci's original phone, or not original, but phones and devices he used while he was
I don't know, his eyes are
Fauci back
looking
in
a
Trump
little
one
cloudy.
during COVID, and nobody had found it.
That's why you can't
Till
remember
2
anybody's
days.
name.
Really?
Yeah.
Was the
Now, look,
FBI director
your audience and
smoking
everybody
weed?
listening to it shouldn't jump to the conclusion everything's in there.
So
Let's go back.
he's saying that
Instant
they were
replay.
looking for his phone and they only found it 2 days ago.
Instant replay. Let's see that smoke ring rise again.
You want
Instant
to
replay.
see the smoke again? Doo-doo-doo.
I've always been looking
Look
for
at that.
investigations open. And,
Wait.
And
Clear. Boom.
We've got multiple
That's
investigations
what he
open on that. But they had always been looking for
And I assume he's
Fauci's
smoking the
original
marijuana.
Up against the
phone,
fucking
not
wall.
original, but
With
phones
Rogan,
and
he's probably
devices he
smoking-
used while
If he's
he
smoking a
was
cigar, there's
Fauci back
definitely
in
weed in
Trump
there.
one during COVID.
Oh wait,
And
oh
nobody
people
had
are
found
chatting.
it.
Hello, hey gang,
Till
happy
2
Friday.
days ago.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Now,
watched the
look,
whole thing. It
your
was
audience
meh.
and everybody listening to it shouldn't jump to the conclusion everything's in there. We'll look at it, we'll pull it, we'll rip it, as we say, and maybe it's deleted, maybe it's not. But at least we found it, and at least now we can tell the American people we've been looking, because it is of public importance to figure out, did that guy lie? Did he intentionally mislead the world and cause countless deaths? We owe those answers to the American people, and the best evidence ever is always the people's evidence who created it. And so now we're going to go and exploit those hard drives. But I think a victory for the American people
he, The Rock?
that we broke with Congress is that we did find it. We're not done. We're still looking, and we're on the case.
It is probably better. It is probably better for Bongino and Cash to go on like Joe Rogan than it is these mainstream sources, because at least like the perception of Rogan is that he's going to ask real questions, and he doesn't usually push back either. Rogan, he doesn't really push back like that. So
He does, but like not on purpose. You know what I mean? But like you also won't get what Joe Rogan said from reporters. The head of the FBI swatted.
the head of the Broby Eye.
The Broby Eye. I think I had one more clip from Cash Patel. Let's see.
Bro.
Yeah, let's see. Wait, that's the swatted clip. What's
I
this
gotta
one?
feed this fucking cat. Give me a second. He won't shut the fuck up.
Gotta feed your cat. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about this one. This one's important. Okay, well I'm gonna play it while Joey's doing whatever it is that the Joey does. So FBI Director Kash Patel says China is fueling the fentanyl crisis to kneecap America. The stuff you need to make fentanyl comes from mainland China. The CCP's long-term game is this: how do I kneecap the United States of America? So this is a 3-minute clip. I'll play it while Joey's doing whatever it is that Joey does. Let me read the chat real quick. So yeah, Rach Flowers was saying, "Hey gang, happy Friday." You were saying that the Kash Patel and Joe Rogan was meh. The whole thing was meh. Someone should drug test Cash. Interesting. See if he is compliant with FBI policy. No. I disagree, Sean. But that's fine. Anyway, I want to play this clip, so let's see it.
So fentanyl, right? Everybody's like, how do you tackle fentanyl? How do you stop this stuff? Okay, yes, let's go after the gang, the narco terrorists down in Mexico. 100%. You got to go after the cartels, the drug trafficking organizations. You got to shore up the southern border. The president has done an amazing job at both of those things, made it a priority. So we have decreased the amount of fentanyl being moved around, let's say, right? But not necessarily coming into the United States.
So you haven't missed much, Joey. We're watching a clip from another
Damn,
clip
that's a
from
long clip, bro. That's not even a clip. That's like fucking 1% of your podcast.
this video. Okay,
right?
we're watching this video from Joe Rogan, the podcast. Okay, the Joe Rogan Experience. They're talking about the fentanyl crisis and how China is actively using it to kneecap the United States, which is something that I've talked about a lot. And Cash is just explaining how everyone's like, yeah, go after the cartels, go after all these drug trades and drug routes and stuff in Mexico. And he's saying that we're doing good on that front, but he's about to talk about China.
China.
United States. So where's the root of the problem?
China.
The CCP.
Oh.
So the fentanyl precursors, the stuff you need to make fentanyl, comes from mainland China. That's it. Now, I'm sure like 1% of it comes from somewhere else in the world, but that's where it comes. They've got hundreds of companies standing up in mainland China shipping this stuff out into the world. Now, their cover is that fentanyl has, and it does have a legitimate lawful purpose in terms of an anesthetic or medical use for anesthesiology related
Sinoski
stuff.
has spoken about
so there's
that
like
before.
a minimal use for it. And what the CCP...
Yeah, which I have heard about that. There are legitimate medical reasons, but it is used in incredibly small amounts.
Yeah. Well, actually, Sinoski said he used to be a fentanyl creator. That used to be like his field of work. So he's like, he would say that, like making it seem like he was a fentanyl dealer. But
yeah, watch out, the cartel might kidnap him, man. They might have him go curate some. But no, that is absolutely true. That is the cover that China uses, but that doesn't negate the fact that it does come from China. Like all of it comes from China.
Where does it come from?
China.
He has done is they've come out and said this is like the biggest, like, talk about the devil pulling the wool over the world's eyes. They're like, we don't make fentanyl. They're right. They don't. They just give you all the ingredients for it and ship it to Mexico. And then what they did was to trick the world. They came out and said, hey, we're going to not sell precursor X. They're like, so now we're out of the fentanyl trade entirely. The problem is there's 14 other precursors you can use to make fentanyl, and they're still shipping all of those. So what we did when I got to the bureau is we stood up this massive enterprise to go after fentanyl precursor companies in mainland China. And they're probably not going to like that. And what they're doing now to get cute is they're shipping that stuff not straight to here. They're going to places like India, and I'm also doing operations in India. And they're having the Mexican cartels now make this fentanyl down in Mexico still. But, instead of going right up the southern border and into America, you know what they're doing? They're flying it into Vancouver. They're taking the precursors up to Canada, manufacturing it up there, and doing their global distribution.
So yeah, China's just doing all these back route ways to get fentanyl over to us. I mean, that's what they've always done, though. They look for ways to kneecap us in not so obvious ways because they don't like us. They want us to not be the world power. They want to be the world power.
They do.
But
they're trying to do it through this new way of warfare, which is not direct warfare.
Yeah, it's indirect warfare. Like they'll go
something
hit
generational warfare
accidentally with a fishing ship. Oops.
I never know which generational warfare it is. I'll just
remember that story?
What was it?
China will do things like, oops, we ran an anchor over one of your sea cables with a fishing ship. Oops, our bad.
Oops, we're sorry.
Yeah. And it's like, oh yeah, that just causes major communication disruption, but that's fine.
I wonder what United States is doing to counteract that. Are we shipping drugs into China?
Well, and then they have and then China has countermeasures so that we can't do that as easily to them. Like they have the famous Great Firewall of China. It's a lot harder to get things through their internet. But our internet's open. They can send whatever they want over here.
In fairness, though, our internet's open because the populace wants it to be open.
We want it open because we want to access all the information. But we've talked about that before. And Tim talks about it extensively too. Our enemies use our free speech against us.
Yeah, of course. Which is why when you think about the intelligence agencies getting their hands a little bit dirty, I understand to some degree that they have to do that because everyone else is doing it to us. And for the most part, for a free internet, we're going to want a free internet because there's going to be websites that we can't use, but we use them because they're being hosted in other countries. So like we don't want to have that. We want to be able to go to whatever website we want.
Well, I mean, there's still some
In
websites you
some
can't
states,
get to, but
states you can't go to Pornhub though.
unless you give an ID, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I believe that's
Now
how it
that-
should be. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't really disagree. I mean, if not an ID, there should be some sort of, because then if it's, because usually you don't get issued an ID until you turn 18 or get your, driver's license 16, 17-ish.
yeah, I've
So-
been given a few ideas on how that could work, but I don't know. There's a lot of things I don't like about it, but what I don't like more about it is people having access to it that shouldn't.
Yeah. When you get to questions like that, I mean, the sad reality of the situation is that there's sometimes and this is what some people don't take into account. Everyone's always so either or. People don't do nuance very well. Sometimes, like, you get hit with a situation where both the options are essentially not options that are satisfactory. And what do you do in that situation? Is you choose the one that you think is less harmful, i.e. the lesser of two evils. So obviously I don't want the scenario of I have to put my ID on there. So basically everyone knows for sure that I'm beating off to, whatever type of weird porn people beat off to these days. But on the other hand is you don't want like 12 or 13-year-olds going on these sites. So what are you going to do? I'm going to sacrifice the fact that you're supposed to sacrifice yourself for the youth. That's how it usually goes. I know that changed during COVID, but I guess everyone's going to know what type of, all these agencies are going to know what I'm, they know my IP address. They know somebody who lives in this area is doing it, but now they're going to know that you're doing it. But is it worth it to make sure kids don't get exposed to this type of shit so soon? Probably.
Let's be fair, Joey. That they already know who you are.
Yeah, but not quite.
Like when you use their
have
sites, like I'm sure all the different advertisers and stuff, like they get access to your data. Like either way, they know who you are.
Yeah, but they'll claim it's like metadata, so they don't like actually technically know your name, but they basically know who you are.
Yeah, but that would be the same argument for having the ID verification. It would just be in the metadata, like, oh, we're just verifying. Like no one's actually looking at it.
So they claim. Yeah,
that's what I mean
guess.
though. Like so. It's like, so what's the I don't get what people's issue is. I feel like the people that have issue with that just want to have easier access to what they're looking at.
Yeah, they don't want to. You know what it is people don't want to be mid-erection needing to get up and get their wallet and take a picture of their ID.
Man,
and then by the time you're done with that whole process,
you're sitting there fumbling with your wallet.
Yeah, by the time you're done with that whole process, all of a sudden Woody the Woodpecker's gone.
Wait, Rage Flowers, what are you asking ChatGPT? He said ChatGPT, what's something?
Tor? Is that like a browser that like has some sort of built-in VPN that you can still use for your?
I think Brave can do. Brave has its own thing where it's got a built-in VPN. I think.
Yeah, I question how good it is though.
That's fair. Okay, I want to see the rest of this clip because I want to see if Cash is going to say anything about what they're doing to actually combat this. Like, sure, you're recognizing it, but you're in a position where you could, like, I don't know, direct people. I feel like, as the director. Anyway, let's see.
Distribution routes from up there because we were being so effective down south.
Oh,
yeah, it's a huge lift, but part of it is Americans just don't understand the depth and depravity of fentanyl. But what's worse is fentanyl. You don't hear fentanyl deaths in China. You don't hear fentanyl deaths in India. You don't really hear fentanyl deaths in England, Australia, New Zealand, our Five Eyes partners in Canada. The Chinese, in my opinion, the CCP, have used it as a directed approach because we are their adversary and they don't like us and we don't like what they're doing when it comes to fentanyl. And their long-term game is this. How do I, in my opinion, kneecap the United States of America, our largest adversary? Well, why don't we go and take out generations of young men and women who might grow up to serve in the United States military or become a cop or become a teacher?
He's not going to say anything.
And that's what they're doing when you wipe out tens of thousands of Americans.
Yes. We know the fentanyl problem is bad. I was hoping for a solution, though, Cash.
My cat's going crazy right now. He sees my mouse on the fucking TV screen, and he's like, he wants to go after it.
As he should, Joey. That's his mouse.
Don't you fucking... Hey, get down. Are you done lost your mind, bro? You've been here for 3 years and you've seen me use this fucking computer before. Now
Joey,
you're just noticing it?
Joey, I don't know your cat's name. What's his name?
Binkies.
Binkies, really?
Well, I didn't name him that. That was the person who had him first named him Binkies, so I just left
So you
it
just
with
refer to him as Cat?
I refer to him as that. Hey, motherfucker, basically. Stop it! It's just a computer mouse, bro. What the fuck, man? Unless there's like a bug on this screen that I can't fucking see, but I was
You need to
moving
get a
the
fucking
mouse
laser
around.
pointer to distract him.
I do have a laser pointer. That's why he's probably starting to notice this shit now. He's because of the laser pointer thing.
All right, well, I got an update for our Greta Thunberg story, Joey. So this is from the Times of Israel. The Israeli Navy is gearing up to block Greta Thunberg's high-profile protest ship headed for Gaza. Also, what we didn't read in the last article I brought up about this, apparently there's a Game of Thrones article on the boat.
What?
Or not article, actor.
Oh, who?
Let's see. It said it down
Daenerys
here.
Targaryen?
No, it said it down here somewhere.
Get fucking
Crap.
down. Dude, shut the fuck up. God damn.
Oh, okay. I missed it. Irish Game of Thrones actor Liam Cunningham.
And Rima Hassan. Liam, is he like one of them fucking beyond the wall?
I don't know who's Liam Cunningham.
Liam Cunningham? Let me see.
Irish actor. He seems like an older dude.
Oh, okay. He's I know who he is. Okay, I recognize the character. He played Was he? Oh my lord, we have to go. Okay, I can't remember his fucking name though. Let's see who he is. Filmography. He played. He did Davos.
He looks like a
Davos.
peasant in
Davos Seaworth.
Yep.
Yeah. Davos.
So he's
from Davos.
Davos Seaworth. Oh, look at that! We are being joined by a minor celebrity.
The quartering?
Whoa, that'd be crazy. Speaking of the quartering, should we talk about that?
I did already. I already lashed melted for his.
He's lashing himself.
I know he's probably he probably got a fucking belt and just going like this to himself.
Yeah. So
talk
this
more.
This is a super long.
Stream.
This is a super long article, so I'm not going to read the whole thing. But if you don't know already, Greta Thunberg and like a bunch of other activists are sailing towards the Gaza. You got to unmute yourself. There you go. What's up, buddy?
Yo, can you hear me?
The whole thing.
Yeah, we can hear you. I can hear myself in the background though.
Greta Thunberg and like a bunch
Hold
of
up,
other
let me turn that
activists are
off. That's my
sailing.
bad. I had you
You're
playing
good.
on the phone. Cool. I finally got past the Rumble weirdness.
You did
Awesome.
it.
What's going on,
What-
guys?
Well,
Very
we
good.
just shifted topics over to Greta Thunberg going over to the Gaza Palestinians, giving them support, whatever. So I read this super long article from the Times of Israel, and basically what it's talking about is the Israeli Navy are well aware of her trip, and they're just going to intercept her. They will likely detain everyone on the boat, and the plan is to either tow the boat to a neighboring country or abandon it at sea.
Arrest them.
Well,
Yeah,
they're going to
so-
get arrested or detained. So
Yeah, but it's all gonna be. That's what they probably want though. They probably want that. The visual of them being.
They wanted
arrested
something
by-
to happen because I think we talked about it. I forget whose show it was, but
Yours.
we've already talked about it because no matter which way you cut it, it's a bad situation. Either she gets arrested, it looks bad for the IDF. Either she goes into Palestine and something happens there, and it looks bad on the IDF for letting it happen. There's no matter which way it gets cut, it looks bad for Israel. So,
Right.
But Greta knows that she just doesn't have any climate activism stuff to talk about, even though she could go talk about the volcano in the country
No,
she just departed from.
She can't talk about that. That would be admitting that natural things happen.
I just
without
find
our
it very odd that a few days after Greta Thunberg sets sail, that a volcano erupts where she departed. I'm just saying.
Are you saying she was keeping it at bay?
I think she was, and she has neglected her duties as a climate activist, and it has allowed this volcano to erupt.
It's amazing though.
unfortunate.
She wants to use her powers to stop what's happening in Gaza. So basically what she's saying is that all of a sudden this climate threat, which was going to doom our planet in about 8 years, about 6 years ago, according to AOC, is not as important as a war going on.
Oh, Sean, I'd like you to step into my office.
Do we have to bring an HR rep? You know,
Bring an HR
Joey,
rep?
can you be my HR rep?
Joey's your HR rep. That's why he's working from home.
That'd be some
There
fucking
we
job
go.
title for me. They'd be
There
like,
you
hey, everyone would come with me with complaints. I'd be like, grow up.
Oh yeah, shut up.
Exactly.
But yeah, no. So I look forward to. Hopefully, there's a video of her getting fucking detained. Like
Oh,
I
I'm sure
look
there
forward
will
to
be.
that. They said that they have some like other plans just in case anything is to happen. Imagine the IDF just claims that they
Contingency
like started
plans.
attacking them and they light up the boat.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first
Listen,
time,
I guess
right?
a broken clock's right twice a day.
Look, I only joke about this because I literally wouldn't put it past the IDF.
Well,
Hey,
well,
I
Will
mean,
Chamberlain tweeted
sometimes
that
when-
shit out the other day. He was like,
He did.
Yep.
Like I
Sometimes
said-
when you're mowing the lawn, the grass grows on the ocean too. You know,
Oh yeah.
that's a deep floor joke. If you get that one, you've been around for a while. Mowing
Oof.
the lawn. You know they call it mowing the lawn, right?
Yeah, they mow the lawn.
When they're standing on the like the wall and they're sniping people, they call that mowing the lawn because it keeps growing and you got to mow it every once in a while.
Yep. That's how you keep growing new terrorists.
like a plant.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so we'll give updates to that probably on Monday. We should have an update. They should be arriving in the Israel's territorial waters, or controlled waters, I should say, in the next day or two. So we'll get an update on this on Monday.
Do we know where they are right now? Last I heard, they were like, I don't know, 60 or so, whatever, something like that, miles off of Greece, and they lost contact, like because they had a drone
they're
overhead
out
or
in the middle of
something.
the sea and they don't have Starlink, so
Right.
That's unfortunate.
yeah.
It'd be nice
So I
if they
don't know what
were.
kind of communications they have in case of emergency or anything like that, but yeah. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about this because who was it? Oh, the Quartering was talking about this, and I found this to be a really interesting story because I've brought this individual up more than a few times. Let's see, trans influencer. Okay, here we go. So I have a few video. I have two videos that I will subject both of you to. Sorry, I have to do it unfortunately to get the point across. So trans influencer filming in the woman's room at Disney World does everything that's wrong with this selfish movement. So this is an opinion piece from Kirsten Fleming at the New York Post. If you're not perpetually online, perhaps you have never heard of the trans influencer Lily Tino Contino. Lucky you. Unfortunately, if you are a waiter just trying to do your job or a woman in a Disney World restroom just trying to do your business, look out. Consider this your creep alert. Since 2022, Contino's 400,000 TikTok followers have witnessed his journey from hirsute man to linebacker dressed as a 50s pinup gal, all while terrorizing unsuspecting waitstaff for misgendering. Have you guys seen this person before?
Yeah, I didn't know the name, but I've seen like the
videos
sitting-
of like him eating at restaurants and stuff.
Have not.
and like a waiter walks over and tops off the cup of water and
So
says,
I'm gonna-
"Can I get you anything else, sir?" And then
I'm gonna
he's like,
play-
"Excuse me, I'm a woman."
I'm gonna play some clips. I'm gonna play some clips of that just because
Fucking
it's so
Chewbacca.
yeah, it's so like narcissistic and disgusting.
I am a total woman. Hello.
So yes,
He's
there are curls,
he's
cupid
cool,
lips,
God.
facial feminization surgery, also chronicled in crop tops. But when Contino speaks, the influencer's voice is lower than his regard for the hospitality workers tortured for his content. Contino, who claims to be a trans girl on a mission, has even more disturbing and narcissistic social media project lurking in the women's bathrooms at Disney theme parks, snapping mirror selfies and rating the experience depending on whether he was misgendered or complimented on his outfit. Essentially, did the women affirm his identity? Turfin's restaurant, 2 out of 10, got misgendered right before this pic, so the vibe was off. And it's a selfie of him in the women's restroom.
I hate these people.
I hate these
Dude,
people.
I feel like this should be. Isn't this like basically peeping Tom?
Yes.
Like
Well,
before
so that's
before
why-
we started entertaining the idea that they could call themselves women when they dress up like women and start talking in a different voice. As soon as we like stopped doing that, why did we also set aside the idea that men who do this used to get arrested?
Oh, Sean.
Like it doesn't.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Rage
Fucking
Flowers.
does-
Rage Flowers said, I'm so tired of seeing this ugly fuck on my timeline. Not even a
Also-
pretty guy, no business
Yeah.
trying to be a femme.
Like
Well,
what? Yeah, like listen, I'm not like with the I don't. He's on YouTube. I don't want to. But I'm not with like the thing. But there's at
Look at
least
this.
there's some people that put effort into it, and then there are others that you're just like, dude, come on now.
This is a before and after.
Ugh. He looks better before.
He did. He actually didn't look like that bad looking of a guy, honestly.
I know. I mean, listen. The
I'd
hairline.
buy insurance
Nothing
from
can be
him.
done about that. But
Yeah, he looks like he's gonna sell me insurance or maybe sell me a car. But hey, he looks good. Well, he did.
well, yeah, solid 6 out of 10.
Just looks like a normal dude.
Normal
he
dude,
looks like a
average
normal
guy.
dude.
Yeah.
Should have went out. What he should have done is went out to a bar with me once, and then he wouldn't
Right.
have been so miserable and depressed. But now the only way he can get close to naked women is by doing this.
But so basically, this article is just talking about how he's been going into restrooms, test track bathrooms, 9 out of 10. Someone inside told me I looked cute. And then, like, literally taking pictures of women in the bathroom. There's women in the background.
Yeah.
Like, sure, you blocked that woman's face, but why are you taking pictures of women in the bathroom?
Gotta get something for the spank bank.
It's just so weird. And I do feel like it is for the spank bank because Quartering talked about that too. He's literally taking these pictures for sexual gratification.
Oh yeah,
100%. And then so Joey, you've never seen the videos of him?
Nope.
Oh, you're in for a treat, my friend.
If I saw something like
Oh
that in
my
my
God.
timeline, I would not. I would just scroll past it because I wouldn't be able to. The rage. would be
I'm
almost
gonna
incredible
have to subject you to this. I apologize
for content for the Vine. We
for
do
the
it Vine.
content. So I want to play the clips of him for context because I want you to have some background on this individual. Let's see, is it this one? Okay, that's the other clip. So he's also this guy's also in the news because he also put out a clip recently talking about people who are anti-trans and how it's okay to go into the bathrooms. So we'll talk about that as well. But I want to play this clip because I've talked about it before. I may have shared it before as well. But it's absolutely just like this is so narcissistic. I'll just show you this, Joey. Let me make sure the volume's good. Okay, here you go, Joey. You ready?
Mhm.
All good. Hi. I use she, her pronouns. I'm not sir. Yeah, like it's like a knife in the heart. I did specifically ask ahead of time not to be called sir. Yeah, I'm just gonna go.
I'm just gonna go.
I'm even trying to put a fucking female voice.
Well, and then look at this one. He's dressed like this looks like how someone would dress their like 3-year-old daughter. Like they
That's
got
the whole
fucking
thing. It's
pigtails, like a
they're-
weird little pink overalls that are.
You know what these sick men are doing is they're not dressed. They're not, since you can't actually be a woman. They're not even making an effort to get into the mind of a woman. They're just dressing how they'd want a woman to dress.
Basic, I guess.
Honestly,
right?
I think it's like they have a sick mix of autogynephilia and pedophilia. They have an autogynephilia about kids. So they're pretending to be a young girl and then getting off on the fact that they're pretending to be a young girl. And
Which in itself is
maybe
pedophilia.
I'm off on agreed. Maybe I'm off on a limb here, but I would also go as far as to say that when they're violating these kids, they're also probably fantasizing about if it was them. These people are sick. Like, you can't fix this.
Yeah, I mean,
These are definitely those people that whenever you see one of them stories about a teacher sleeping with a student, they go, nice.
so Joey,
Right.
this is a series for this individual though. This is a common thing for them to do.
What?
This clip is 2 minutes long. We're only 20 seconds in.
He might be doing the Dylan Mulvaney grift, though. He might have saw how successful that was.
I mean, it
Right,
could be, but is it
successful,
even a
but-
grift at that point?
Well, it is.
Yeah.
A grift is like you're doing something strictly for the
Well,
views.
I don't know if he's I don't know if this guy's grifting though. I think he
I think
truly
he is
believes. I
because-
think he wants to be called a woman because I mean, you look
I
at the
don't think
clips
so.
from him in the bathroom.
Well, we'll see. But like, he's not even putting any effort to sound like, if I were to like try to be trans, I'd be like, "Hey, girl," like I at least try to put a little twang in my voice. But he's like, "Excuse me, it's actually
So
she,
that's
her. It's she,
that's
her,
the
bro."
unfortunate thing, Joey. Is this is one of the individuals that is just not a passing trans person. He's had all of the surgeries to get the voice change, the facial structure changed. He's just one of
Hasn't
those
worked.
people that does not pass.
Well, that's what happens when you.
He probably used to.
That's what happens when you
Go
look
ahead.
like a frumpy male.
Yeah, well, and then so
Yeah.
now he makes a series of going to restaurants, and then he tries to make it very obvious that he's trans, and then he gets misgendered and is upset when he's misgendered, and it's like, dude, you're clearly a dude, you sound like a dude, you look like a dude dressed as a chick, which cool. If this is what you want to wear as a guy, I don't give a flying fuck. I'm not gonna hang out with you, but If you want to do it, go ahead. I don't care. But like, you're not a woman.
First of all, he's got the black belt in not BJJ but BJ on, and we know what that's code for.
Step one,
So,
get attention.
Yeah, get attention. That's what he's trying to do.
That's what Rage Flower said in the chat. He said, "Step one, get attention."
Well, that's exactly what he's doing though. He's trying to get the attention. That's why I think it's a grift.
Yeah.
He's got another video that says it's the grok over 9,000.
Anyway, okay, I'm gonna play a little bit more of this and we'll move on.
Water starts at okay. I'm
so sorry. I apologize.
It's just always like a knife. It always hurts every single time. I was wondering if there's a manager I could talk to about something.
Can I talk to the manager, please?
Yeah, I was called sir. Oh, okay. It just really sucks every time it happens.
The guy apologized immediately upon saying it, and he still asked for the manager.
You know, I swear to God, and this is what I kind of have an appreciation of with Gen Z. Like, if I just based off being around some of these kids playing basketball, trying to help them get better as players and human beings, I feel like if a tranny showed up at the park like this, they would literally like make fun of them. And that's
100%.
That's what needs to happen. Because like, if I saw this type of shit happen at the park, bro, I would like. I get my COVID mask on and throw it down so they can't identify who I am. I'm not stupid. I'm not dumb. Okay, I'm not like the fucking. I'm proud and whatever. The protest.
Joey, you're underwater.
I'm a blah blah blah.
You're under. Yeah, I think you're too far.
You're back.
Anyway, I'm not one of these people. Like, if I feel like I need to do something, bro, I'm putting a luchador mask on. They ain't gonna know who the fuck I am.
They don't know what hit them.
I'm gonna wear a whole ass 1980s Adidas rapper jumpsuit like I'm from Ultramagnetic MCs, and I'm gonna put a fucking luchador mask. I'm gonna put an El Santo luchador mask on.
Love it.
Call me Elon Conquistador.
So I mean I could just play this while we're talking though. He just goes to multiple different restaurants.
Joey
I could skip
Mysterio.
ahead a little bit. Look at this outfit. Like, what is this?
Ugh.
This
He's got
is
his little dog with
attention
him.
grabbing. So in the
like,
same way that
kind of
grift online with like
hurts.
random subjects, right? I feel like this is them grifting for the IRL attention,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's what it is.
They're looking
Find
for
the
those
algorithm.
rage reactions. Yeah, exactly. They're finding
Look for
the
the
algorithm
algorithm
of,
in person.
and most of the reactions are hate. So
Mhm.
if you purposely do something
But-
that you know violates society, it's like
Interaction's interaction, though.
just go home.
That's like what Melted explains when someone dislikes my video. Is like, bro, they don't realize it's interaction, and that helps, dude.
It does to an extent.
It helps more than no interaction.
It does.
So for example, if this person was, because they're still getting the views. So if this person was just getting ignored by everything, and people were just like she would say, she would say, oh, blah blah blah, and then they just like look at them like, just not even feeding in. She, it, them,
Yeah.
they, there.
That's my
teacher.
favorite. Those are my favorite pronouns. Is she it?
She, it.
Yeah, she it.
Yo, she, it, dog.
Yo, my pronouns are she it.
Yeah.
Shit, man.
Hey, yo, shit. Yes.
But so I just wanted to play this video. I guess this was this was from this is an older clip. Still, I wanted to react to it. And play this clip. This is from the same dude.
Afraid of you in the bathroom than you are of us. We see what is being said.
Okay, wait. Let me go back. Trans people are more afraid of you being in the bathroom than the other way around.
Come here.
Sure.
Trans women are more afraid of you in the bathroom than you are of us. We see what is being said about us, that we are supposedly these predators that are going into bathrooms to do unspeakable things to innocent
Like
people.
take pictures.
Obviously, that's
Right.
not true, but it doesn't matter because
Glenn-
people who don't know any better
Glenn just started
believe
following
it's
me.
true. And that means that every time we step foot in a woman's bathroom, there's fear. Fear that someone will attack us or accuse us of something we didn't do.
Accuse you of something you didn't do, like going to a bathroom that you're not supposed to be.
And take pictures.
And
with
take
other
pictures and
women
video.
clearly visible.
Imagine you walk into a bathroom and there's a trans dude filming a fucking TikTok.
I'd
You walk in
fucking
there.
Jackie Chan kick him.
Drop kick. I was like, move, bitch! I need to take a shit.
You know, since
Yeah.
Glenn just followed you, I want to bring up something Glenn has been saying in the lounge chat today. He
What's that?
said he said I'm going to say it one more time and then I'll shut up. You don't need to shut up, Glenn. You should go on Tyler's show on Monday, in fact. Then I'll shut up. This Elon Trump thing does not pass the smell test on so many levels.
We'll move on. We'll move on to that.
It's not copium. It's not copium. But in the interest of openness, I've been following Elon for 5 years, and my judgment could be clouded, but not real makes much sense as anything right now. You know, if I were
I'm leaning towards not real.
Let me play into this conspiracy now, though, because this is, if you were to think, if you're the Trump administration, you're like, there's things that we want to get through, and we don't want the media attention to, you know, push certain narratives out that are going to manipulate people, because they're still good at manipulating people. So they're like, what could we do to like make sure that doesn't happen as we try to push this agenda through? Charade like this. Oh, Elon said Trump was on. And, you know, Elon's a smart motherfucker, and Trump is smart when something makes sense business-wise. So it just feels like the motivation is not matching what's happening. Like, because I agree on the basis of what Elon is saying about, you know, the bill. But it doesn't seem like that should be the deal breaker. I mean, there's been a bunch of things that have already happened in this administration that you would think would make like Robert F. Kennedy or Elon Musk kind of go, wait a minute. But this is the thing that did that. I don't know. Especially since Elon's known, like Mike Johnson said, they've been working on this bill for 14 months. So it's been knowledge to the administration that they were still working on the bill.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards it's fake because like I said, I was watching the quartering earlier today too, and he also spoke about it, and he was talking about why he believes it's fake. And you just look at the things that Elon's saying very specifically. Like he's saying that he doesn't say Donald Trump specifically is in the Epstein files. He says at real Donald Trump, like the account. So he's wording it in a way where it could be like, yeah, the Donald Trump account is listed there for like some, you know, nebulous reason. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like he's in the Epstein files, but it's for nothing. Like
and the fact he's even tagging Trump like that instead of just writing his name out.
Well, yeah, and if he knows he's in the Epstein file, he's got to know what he's in the file for. So fucking say it.
Because let's be honest, like if he just tweets out Donald Trump is on the Epstein list and he doesn't tag him, what, you think Trump's not going to know he's basically like, you know what I mean? Like he doesn't need to get his attention by tagging him.
Well, and then so the other reason I think this is fake is because I think Donald Trump doesn't like the fact that since the start of the presidency, he's been it's been said that Elon is co-president. So I think he wanted some space between them. And also, Elon has suffered a lot of backlash for his companies being associated in the government the way he has.
There's a lot of motivation.
I think they're both realizing that they've helped each other enough, and they just need to distance themselves. But I don't think they're actual enemies.
So that's almost like I mean, it's shrewd and clever. And the only reason I believe the 4D chess tactics potentially now is because Elon Musk is a genius on some level. Not that Trump's not. It's just Trump is very. I make immediate decisions for the most part. He's not really this is like a shrewd tactical plan if this is the case, you know, because what it does is it makes them look like enemies on the surface, but really they're shaking hands. So it's almost like, it's almost like the show theater the deep state does, where they pretend like Nancy Pelosi has to pretend she doesn't like Lindsey Graham and shit, even though, you know, they're all participating in the same orgies.
Yeah. And I want to get Sean's thoughts on this, but another thing the quartering said, what else did he say? Literally less than a week ago, Elon was gifted a key to the White House by Donald Trump. Like, do you really think they're enemies? Like,
yeah, like they've been talking about this bill for a long time, and Elon, you know what I mean? And like all of a sudden now it's a big deal.
They're playing some sort of game with the media. It definitely seems
like, it definitely seems like, and you know what? I'm going to add another nugget of information to this. He's no longer working with Doge, as like his time as a temporary government employee ran out and he left Doge. So all this happening at the same fucking time makes it seem like Trump said, all right, you're not going to be in the government anymore, but how can you still help me? And this is
Rage Flower says there's more spin than actual story at this point. I didn't think there was that it was a farce, but you actually make a compelling case.
See,
we're just saying it's a possibility. Like if you look at they've been working together the entire year since the administration began. All of a sudden, they're going to get into a feud over a spending bill. Just 2
weeks ago, they both took Air Force One to tour the Middle Eastern countries. And all of a sudden now, like, it's not like Elon is unaware that the big, beautiful bill was brewing. You know, like, this shit's been brewing for, like, months. So now all of a sudden that he's no longer a temporary government employee, he's no longer working with Doge. he's had this backlash, and then them realizing that we kind of have to use the left tactics against them. So we're going to throw out some bait story that the media is going to love because it's two people that they hate arguing with each other, and they're going to think this is going to splinter MAGA, this is going to splinter MAGA. And you know what's going to happen? I don't know if this is going to get resolved soon or not, but if this is really a long distance thing, summer of 2026, they're going to come out on stage, shake hands, and that's going to make the morale go back up for the midterms.
And then you'll pay for a bunch of Trump-backed candidates for the midterms.
Yep.
Instead
and you
of
know what
saying
I
what
want
he's
them to
saying
do?
now.
You know what they should do? This would be funny as a wrestling fan. Everyone's familiar with the meme of Vince McMahon ripping off the mask and like, it's me, Austin. Like, that's what they should do. Elon Musk should be like, you know who the mastermind behind everything has been? And then like Trump just comes out in like a druid sweater.
Joey, I gotta stop you because Sean, I want to get your thoughts, and then I gotta kick you out so you can go get ready.
Yep, I gotta get out of here soon. So I mean, as far as do I think it's fake or not? It's man. There's so many moving parts. It's really hard to say. But what I would like to do is explore the chess of it all, right? Because let's assume it is fake, and then just explore how the dominoes fall. Yeah, if it is fake, and they're gonna realign later on, that means that Trump now has permission to go against the parts that his base may have wanted Elon to go harder on, and Elon didn't, right? Because now Elon gets to be the bad guy, and Trump can push against that. Also, in the other direction, Elon gets to recover because, I tried, and look how bad they did me, and I wound up losing money, and they screwed me over in the end, and they didn't actually do what they said they were going to do. Let me back in, guys. So it would strategically be a good move. I don't know, man. I'm like a.
I think it's mutually beneficial.
I agree.
more.
If it's true, it's mutually beneficial the way it plays out. I'm not sure I'm ready to say I believe that just yet, but I don't really have a reason not to. It's just I'm hesitant to bite that deep into big conspiracies, and honestly, I hate the reality that like it's even reasonable to consider that.
But that's what makes it good, though. It is reasonable to assume this. There's a lot of
it makes it good to like have a
narrative
conversation about it. I agree. What I'm trying to say is like we got to raise our standards, guys. Like we can't be so acceptable. We can't be so willing to accept that this conversation is actually a normal, like reasonable conversation to be happening in society. Like we got to raise that bar of just honor and people doing like we have to demand that they do what they say they're going to do, or get them out and stop accepting it. Even the idea that like I understand sometimes you have to lie to the enemy so that you can
deception
you can navigate around them, right? But the idea that anybody just on quote unquote the opposing team of your own nation's politics is the enemy is fucking crazy. We got to clean house real strict, That's kind of where I come at it. I'm like, if it is a subterfuge, then like, man, they really have to take even faster and harder actions than we all think they do.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, that the fact that we even need to get to this point where we're debating if they're using like deception to mess with their enemies is crazy, because you do that when you're on the battlefield. So what you're basically saying is not only are you verbally saying they're the enemy, but you're admitting based off of your tactics that you're the enemy.
Yeah, you're acting as though they are.
I guess the one reason where, again, this is why it fits so well to me is that like this is something the left routinely does to the America First types. So now it's just like, they're going to use their tactics against them. And it's like, man, this shit it's going to keep spiraling. And like you said, the fact, I see what Sean is saying. The fact that the fact that this charade might be true shows the urgency in which we need to fix everything. Because if it keeps going like this, it's going to exponentially get worse in the next 2 years and 4 years.
I gotta dip out, but let me just throw the cherry on top of that. If you continue to do this and find it acceptable to allow your team, quote unquote, to do the bad thing, to defeat the bad guy, you are literally giving them actual definition, like definitively provable examples that you are acting as the bad guy. So when they start brainwashing the next generation, you are helping them do it. We have to just raise our fucking bars. I love you guys. I'm going to dip over there. I'll catch you later. Thanks for letting me come up.
Yep.
Yes.
I'll
Thank
see
you,
you next
Sean.
time.
We'll be writing out to Sean. He's gonna go get his show started.
Yes,
Joey and I are gonna talk about the story a little bit more before we head on over to Sean's.
And remember to
Sean's
communicate with Sanoski beforehand, Sean. I told him that you're doing the show before him today, so he'll send you a link for you to raid to him.
Okay, there you go. And then so yeah, I mean, I haven't looked too much into the feud, but just from what I've seen, I think it's possible that it could be fake. I don't know. I just feel like it's really out of the blue.
Yeah, it does.
It's really all of a sudden, you know. But
It
then
feels
again,
like-
it could have been brewing for a while. They could have been keeping it under wraps because they didn't want it public. But I don't
There
know.
were some of those rumors, right? You know what I think it was is that there were probably some legitimacy of them being somewhat upset with each other. And then they heard those news stories about, oh, look at the feud brewing between, there's something brewing between Trump and Elon. And dude, get the fuck off of my TV. And then they're like, you know what? And then maybe they're like, let's use the story that they're crafting against them. Like I said last night about like jiu-jitsu, you want to use your opponent's momentum against them. So they didn't think of this whole rift thing, but the media's thought of it, and they're like, hey, that's a pretty good idea. Let's go with it. And that's the pro wrestler in Donald Trump, because that's what you would do with pro wrestling. The audience is giving you something, you take it and use it.
Right, exactly.
What is this?
And then what's called
Jesus.
Tim tried to make this a story earlier. I don't know why this is a story. I had this pulled up just because it's called I just wanted to have something up while we talked about the story. But I guess the New York Post talked to Trump this morning, and he didn't really talk on the topic. Can you hear me, Joey?
Yeah, I can. No. My cat is just scratching behind the fucking TV.
Okay, no, just making sure. So I guess the New York Post called Trump. They had a call with him, and he didn't really talk about that. They tried to talk to him about the issue, but he diverted and started talking about policy and stuff like that. So
That's
the
another
article's kind
thing.
of whatever.
That's another thing. When is Trump? Like he said some things. Obviously, he's got to throw some zingers in there, like Elon's lost his mind, like generic shit. When does Trump not want to talk about something?
Yeah, and Trump has not gone, especially when it comes to like drama, like one-on-one drama. He'd be like, "Look, Elon, he's just upset because of this, that, or otherwise," and like he would have something to say. If that's another reason why I'm leaning towards it's fake, because the way Trump's even acting is a little like, all right, Trump would be going harder if this was real.
Like he's taking it too personal. It doesn't seem to match. You know what I mean? Like there's been times in the past where Rand Paul has like come out against things against Trump, and then they reconcile. He never says anything that fucking wild. You know what I mean? It just seems like he's getting overly angry. My pro wrestling instincts are starting to. This is what it is. It's pro wrestling. It's theater. My instincts are starting to tell me that this is some elaborate scheme, and I wouldn't believe this in the previous administration. But Elon Musk is a smart motherfucker. You combine that with Donald Trump's instincts.
Sean's got a point. If it is real, where it's being faked, then that's a crazy time to be.
It is
alive.
So basically what that means is they better solve the things. That's what Sean is saying. That they better solve everything that they want to solve now, because if they don't, it's going to spiral out of control the next administration.
Well, okay, so this will be the last thing we talk about real quick before we head over to Sean. Tim Pool made a whole video about this, and I don't know why, because literally, so it says Russia offers political asylum to Elon Musk over the Trump feud. And it's like, whoa, that's crazy, right? Like, that's an interesting story. Well, you go down, and it's literally like, what is it? Dmitry Novikov, first deputy chairman of the State Duma Committee of International Affairs, made the comments on Russia state news outlet. I think that Musk has a completely different game, so he will not need any political asylum, although if he did, Russia, of course, could provide it. Literally just some random guy in Putin's administration.
He didn't even offer
it. It's literally like it's just an off comment. It's literally just an off comment like, oh, yeah, that doesn't seem like that would ever happen, but let's say in a world it did.
You know what this is the equivalent to? And this is why Tim probably did this story, because he uses this fallacy all the time about how the media lies about shit. Tyler, like, let's say, well, I'm going to say this. Well, listen, if Tyler happens to not make it on his own streaming wise, he's more than welcome to join Outworld Live. Like, that's basically Joey Cannoli offers Tyler Today News a contract. It's like, no. I'm just saying, if for some reason he's like, I just want to join a team.
That's like Tim, or that's like Ben Shapiro saying that to Tim Pool, and then it's like, oh, Tim Pool joins Daily Wire.
Tim Pool offered to join Daily Wire. No, just Ben Shapiro's like, well, if Tim ever falls on hard times, he can always join us.
Right.
That's basically what he's saying. He's like, listen, if they really are going to come after him like that, we will take Elon Musk in Russia. That's all he's saying. He's not saying fucking, yeah, listen, here's the contract.
But anyway, thank you, Joey. Thank you, Sean. We're going to raid out over to Sean. I don't want to go over too long because I do want to send everybody over to his show. You guys know where to find Joey. He rated me before the stream. You probably came from there. Outworld Live. Go check him out. Thank you for coming on, Joey. We'll see you later.
I retruth that.
I'll retruth it. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do my outro. Thanks, Joey.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you guys so much for coming on. Let me go back to my desk. I'll give you guys the outro from my desk. Here we go. I am at my desk. I have the chat open over here, up in the wait, that corner, up in that corner. Look at that, guys. I'm at 286 followers. I'm almost to 300. That's pretty sick. I had a lot of fun on the show today. Thanks, dudes. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you, Rage Flowers. You can see your chat up there in the corner over there. But guys, I'm gonna be playing Helldivers a lot of the day. I'm gonna go eat and stuff first, and then I'll be playing Helldivers. So check that out. Go head over to Sean's channel. I'm gonna raid out over to there. Thank you guys for tuning in. Peace out. Have a good one. Confirm raid. Peace out. And outro.